Hi, and welcome back to Awkward Stage, the podcast.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Alina. We are your hosts. Obviously, you know us and love us, and you've missed us.
You love us.
We're back. We're back this week with an incredible guest.
She's a comedian. She's a writer. She's a puppeteer. She was topless in Venice one time, and it was all over the media.
Because woman breasts are scandalous.
Offensive. They're offensive. It wasn't Venice. It was New York, huh? It was New York. Noel Leon.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
I don't know why when I was like, I have to think of one more fact about her. Oh, topless in New York.
Because society would be like, you didn't tell us she was topless?
But also because my husband sent me the article and he was like, isn't this that girl you met up with?
He's like, I'm concerned.
I'm concerned about what kind of friends you're
you're
making
hanging
in
out.
Hollywood.
This is weird, but I saw her nipples. And they look exactly like everyone else's nipples, but somehow.
Happy anniversary to you and your fiance.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, today is your anniversary?
Yeah.
That's what
Which
she was
one?
The day our first date.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, your first date.
Where was your first date?
It was at this sushi place in Venice, and it was so weird. This guy was trying to steal my phone.
What?
He was like, "Can I take a photo of you?" I'm not even kidding.
No.
And he like grabbed my phone, and I was super naive. I was like, "Okay." And then he took a photo and started like walking off, and my fiance actually like had to like grab him and and so that was a fun start. But we have a picture of it the first time we met.
Just like casually walking off?
Yeah, like casual.
Like slowly walking back and
It's
then like planning to run away? Oh my God. Did you ever think that he maybe staged that situation to immediately establish himself?
like a heroic
like,
act?
yes.
Oh my God, maybe.
And to get a photo because he was like, I know I'm going to be with her for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
And he like gets to beat up some, like he put up a Craigslist
He was like,
ad.
it was like a slow-mo. Like,
Or like
You're like,
maybe because maybe he like wanted to steal your Instagram and like promote his startup, your fiance, and so he staged this date with his friend to steal your phone. But then he got to the date and he was like, "Fuck, I can't do this. I really like this girl."
yeah.
Can
Maybe
you
he has like
already-
a sordid past of like stealing girls' phone? Like this is his shtick.
Well, have you ever Googled him?
No, actually.
Can you
I'll
feel
look
the
it up.
cracks in your relationship
Yeah,
through
my
this conversation?
anxiety.
Have you ever Googled me?
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I have.
You've Googled me?
I probably have.
I don't think I've ever Googled
Wait,
you.
Have you ever
Maybe
Googled
I
yourself?
haven't.
Googled?
Of course I've Googled myself.
It's a terrifying experience to see like the impression that the internet gives off of you.
Yeah, totally.
Because if you don't agree, there's nothing you can do about it.
Although mine says I'm much younger than I am, well, a little bit younger. So I appreciate the
Yeah,
internet. I'm like,
mine
thank you,
does
internet.
too. Do you guys are you guys on that weird website Wiki Famous People?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they just say a bunch of
They're like, you're
random
18.
Yeah.
fake shit.
It's
about
like a
you.
bot. It's like Alina Bock is make money from modeling. She has a net worth of $20 million.
Yeah, they
I'm like,
called me.
what?
They were like her beautiful photos and modeling photos. I'm like, what modeling photos? And then it's like she's rumored to be dating another influencer. I'm like, I'm literally married to like just like a
They
real
mean
normal
me.
guy. Wait, they think we're dating.
That's cute.
They think you're gay
my
for each other.
net worth is like millions of
Yeah,
dollars.
same.
Yeah. I wonder if you could like sue them for the amount that they say that you are. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't care if people Google me. Like, I'm sure he Googled me before we met, which was very probably embarrassing for me if I had known that. But I don't want people to see my Google search history. That's what I'm more concerned about.
Oh, well, that I understand that anxiety. Whenever I leave my house, I'm afraid that I just consider the possibility that I might die today, just because it's a realistic possibility.
100%.
You need therapy.
And the most
Yeah.
important thing is to like clear your browser.
Right,
history.
exactly. I'm like, okay, so if people come into my apartment after I've deceased,
And they open your phone.
I see what you guys are saying. I've never thought of that.
and then like this is the impression that you leave. Like, you can never change that image of you ever again. Like, you don't care about it anymore because you're dead. But people will walk around being like, she died. And like, did you know she
And the
was
last
into
Google
like
search. Yeah,
weird
yeah.
snake videos or whatever?
But also-
And you're like Googling it ironically, maybe.
Yeah, for,
but
like,
it's like, but they're like,
comedy.
she is very
Right,
strange.
as comedians, you look up like a lot of
Weird
weird
shit.
shit. Like my whole entire fucking YouTube channel right now is all conservative male propaganda. Like it's because I was looking up Andrew Tate when I was writing a sketch.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like watching a bunch of his
And now they're
videos.
suggesting it to you.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on with it? And now I'm getting suggested everything that's like him and like fits in with like that.
Well, now you
those
have great
view-
content.
with those
More
like
content.
points.
Hey, have you heard of Joe Rogan?
And like I see these headlines pop up on my YouTube and I click on them because I'm like, there's no way. And then I'm like 30 seconds into watching this video. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't keep watching this shit.
But
because
that's how brainwash starts.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
Oh my
I
God.
know.
A year from now, she'll be like, did you know? It's the birds. The
Yeah.
birds have cameras in them.
Actually,
She's like, I voted
racism
for
is
Trump.
not that bad.
Holocaust didn't happen.
Women should not have jobs. No, that's literally the videos getting served to me right now.
Oh,
That's
no.
so
It's like
funny.
women should really know their place.
Yeah.
And I'm watching
Oh
it and
my
I'm like,
God.
yeah, totally.
That's why you need to tell, like, okay, if you have a person like you guys do, that's great for you because you can tell your fiance, your husband and your fiance, in case I die, you have to like clear my browser history.
And you have to tell your cat. No.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
My husband would
I
be
have
like,
no
why were
buddy.
you hiding that you were a conservative from me? Your whole YouTube channel is conservative white male videos. Like, what? We could have been so much
could've-
deeper. He's a white man.
He's like, actually, I'm into that too. I didn't want to tell you.
Actually, I didn't want to tell you because I know it pissed you off, but I also don't think women should have jobs.
Wait, so we went to synagogue for Yom Kippur, and like I loved this rabbi, this female rabbi. I was like obsessed with her, and my fiance was like, he didn't like her, and I was like,
because she's a woman?
well, yeah. So this, I thought she was fantastic. I was like, I had a major crush on her. I was like, isn't she great? Like, we should go back. He was like, she's okay. I was like, why don't you like her? And he was like, I don't know how comfortable I feel with having a female rabbi because I'm not used to it. And I literally was like, so I made him write an essay on why women should be allowed to be rabbis and read a book on it before we can have sex again. I'm not even kidding. And he told this to all his friends, and they were like, oh my God. They're like, they thought I was cool, I guess, because I did that.
Amazing. That is
Wait,
exactly the kind of.
Was the essay good?
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Did he understand why
I
you
didn't,
took
like-
issue with it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
didn't like Google if it was like plagiarized. I should have done that, but it was a pretty thought through essay.
Wow,
But he was like, it's not because I'm racist. It's just because I'm not, or not because I'm sexist. It's just because I'm not comfortable with it. But then his mom was talking on the phone, like on speaker a few weeks later. And he was like, Mom, how do you feel about having a female rabbi? And she's like, well, we've never had one at our synagogue before, so I don't know, but I wouldn't care. But it was like a whole conversation now.
Okay. Well,
But
that's
I was
good.
like, I'm making a mark.
Yes.
Thank you, Mark.
That
No.
is I think that's the right like strategy to just open
to
up
make them right
a conversation and
Yeah.
think about
Right,
it.
because like I think you're used to a certain energy when like one role is always filled by a man, and then all of a sudden a woman's in there, and you're like, scary, never saw before.
Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
if she has the like authority and knowledge and
Yeah.
but that's why representation matters. In
It's the same
synagogues.
thing with going on with the fucking Little Mermaid. Like, why
Yes.
does anyone give a shit? But it's just
Yes.
because, like, well, the Little Mermaid used to be white. It's
These like grown men
yeah.
who sit in I don't know what dumpster hell they live in and like
Dumpster hell
dumpster
they
hell
crawled out of.
I don't know, but whatever they do, it's like grown people on the internet enraged about the Little
And
Mermaid.
No one's
Wait, really?
child.
Yes,
Was this a
cares.
suggested video?
Yeah, I get on my YouTube. They actually make really great arguments for why it shouldn't. No, and then like no child ever cares. No
Yeah,
child
yeah.
cares. Every
No.
child is like, that's a beautiful mermaid.
and the contrary, Black children do care because they now have representation.
Yeah.
They see themselves in mainstream
right.
media.
I'm saying like
And they can
little
resemble
little
little
white
kids.
children aren't
Right.
like, wait a second.
not
They're
my
like,
Ariel.
wow, that's a really beautiful, really cool mermaid.
Yeah,
But yeah.
she can sing really beautifully. And
Did you guys
her
ever-
Dad is like, "Mom."
Did you guys ever dismantle your Barbies and like take off
Yeah.
their heads?
Oh.
Now they can dismantle Barbies of their own color.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
No, I like.
What did you do with Did you cut the hair off too?
Maybe. I don't remember. I was the very
Well, this is a perfect segue.
This is a perfect
Dismembered Barbies is
let's get into your childhood. Oh my God. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Sacramento, which is like just outside of San Francisco. It's pretty
Sacramento
boring.
is the capital of California.
Fun fact.
Really?
It's like not as exciting as you would think.
Is it north?
Actually, no one would think it was exciting.
It's north of San Francisco.
It's just like kitty corner kind of.
And what is it like? What's Sacramento like?
It's the state capital, so there's like a lot of official happenings, people walking around in business
politics,
suits. A lot of politics, yeah, and
a lot of men.
It's like surprisingly very pretty. Like downtown, there's a lot of like old Victorian houses, which are really pretty, and
that's very East Coast.
Yeah, and then as you go like outside of downtown, there's like a lot of like farm areas.
Oh yeah,
because it's like pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Like I used to drive an hour to school every day. And we were only like an hour outside of Tahoe. So, and like there was like a creek with like animals and like farm animals and stuff.
Did you grow up in like the farmy area?
Yeah. Okay. Like literally, I'm not even kidding. There were toilet bowl races. It was like it was like a hippie farmy area. There was like it was called the Fair Oaks Festival that they had every summer where people would make toilet bowls into like race cars and like sit on the toilet bowls and race them.
That sounds like a movie scene.
Like upside down?
Rascals.
Yeah, like you would sit on the toilet
bowls. Oh, you would sit on the toilet.
And then like press a motor and like race, and like whoever won the toilet bowl race, and there was like a trophy of like a golden toilet seat.
Did you ever do it?
No, but I did do the frog jumping competition.
What is that?
Well, I'm glad I asked.
And you make the frog go, and whoever wins the frog race. I won that like 2 years in a row.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
Wow, really
because you picked a good frog.
I picked a good frog, and I screamed. I was like, yeah. I was like 7. I was like, fucking frog.
Where does one find a good frog?
You can look in its eyes. And you can tell the kind of spirit.
Did they provide the frogs?
They provided the
okay.
frogs. Yeah.
So you weren't like running in the creek finding a frog?
Did they release the frogs after?
I never found out, but I'm curious about it.
I'm like always afraid when I hear about these things that like the horrible things that they could
no,
possibly done.
Don't worry, they probably ate them.
Frog meat.
They probably went to good use.
It sounds like a very idyllic like upbringing.
Yeah, it was
picturesque.
Interesting.
No.
So what kind of kid were you?
Well, I was an only child, so I guess there's like stereotypes.
Spoiled.
That are true. Yeah. Just like very awkward,
weird. Yeah.
I feel like everything that people look at me, they're like, oh, it makes sense now.
So did you hang out with your parents a lot?
Yeah.
So the school was an hour away. How close were like your closest friends?
Well, I grew up like figure skating like competitively since I like started skating when I was like 2 years old. So like all of my friends were pretty much like on the ice. Which I'm like still friends with them.
All my friends were on the ice.
Yeah, they were like a lot of them were homeschooled. So and I wasn't. So I like but I left school early to go skate with them every day.
It was like intense figure skating.
Yeah,
like you were a figure skater.
Yeah, like I competed and stuff.
You did like twirling stuff.
Yeah,
and jumping.
Yeah,
twirling and jumping.
It was like kind of like Blades of Glory, except like
Wait, so they were homeschooled to figure skate?
Yeah.
Did any of them go on to be like Olympians?
Yeah, well, like we all went to like nationals and stuff, but like at a certain point it gets pretty expensive. Like I mean it was crazy expensive, but like you have to decide like to like stay in this.
Like do people get sponsorships?
Yeah,
and
but
like
it's
prize money and stuff like that?
There isn't really prize money. So like unless you get like first place at the Olympics, like even second place, you don't really make any. It's like the only sport that like actually you have to like fund. But so I spent a lot of time on the ice with them, and like let me tell you, like homeschoolers are very strange. Yeah, I bet. And so my like main influence since I was like an only child was like these gay boys who were like homeschool, and like these girls who like had like who like talked to their Furbies. No, I'm kidding. And then I was just as weird.
So you go to school and you're like the people in school know that you basically hang out on the ice with like weird homeschool people all the time. Yeah.
And I went to an like all girls Catholic school too.
Oh,
okay. So did you feel like you had like a clique at your all girls Catholic school?
Yeah. They were like, well, so I went to kindergarten through 8th grade with like the same 30 people. Wow. Like it's like literally like boys and girls, the same 30 people. And then my high school was all girls. But like kindergarten through 8th grade was like we knew each other, the same 30 people. Like we knew like the colors of our bottles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. Like it was just so intimate. So it was almost like siblings kind of. Like it wasn't really like.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And
it was like
everyone had a crush on the same 5 people.
The same 5 people.
Yeah.
And like it was very strange. And but I was like very awkward. I had like the two, they'll call themselves weirdos. The two weirdos, like Elisa and Melina, who I'm still friends with to this day, but like we just like hung out in a corner and like pranked each other and pranked other people, and we were just very strange.
Pranked each other.
You know what I mean? It was just
Like what kind of pranks?
Like I don't know, just like leaving like whoopee cushions and weird things, and like we would just like laugh and like be silly. And no one else thought it.
You guys thought you were like the most hilarious people on the planet.
Was everyone there like actually very Catholic, or was it one of those things where like the Catholic school was the only option?
Yeah, it was like no one was really that Catholic except for my mom, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but and then Melina and Elisa's parents were very Catholic because like they were Hispanic and I'm Italian, so like Hispanics and Italians are very religious. So of course, like I hung out with the two other people who were like equally oppressed.
Yep.
But we had to go to mass every morning at 7:45.
Every morning?
Yeah, and like I would like just like stare in the pews like half asleep and just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was
So
just,
you didn't take it too seriously.
No,
you weren't just
actually,
like Jesus
I was
is
like really
it.
into Harry Potter.
Oh,
at the time,
yeah.
like obsessed with Harry Potter books, and I was like, I think this could be real. You know what I mean? I was like, I think this is more real than like, not to like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Harry Potter is more real than the Catholicism.
I agree.
Than the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this is real.
This is not.
Yeah. So I would just like raise my hand in class, and like the teachers hated me because I would constantly like ask really weird questions. I was like
you would question.
Yeah, I would question their religion.
and they were like,
like, what are the chances she just got fucked?
Yeah. Actually, my 8th grade teacher like had to talk with my parents because like I was asking so many questions, and like really they were like, I think Noel has anxiety. Like
yeah, you are the problem, not
you
questioning someone walking on water. Yeah.
And then like 15 years later, still undiagnosed anxiety.
But I didn't have anxiety.
They were right. They were right.
I think she has anxiety because she's not praying enough.
Hey, 2 things can be true.
But we had, and then in 7th grade we had Miss Weckler, who like was like the last nun of like, I feel like like now you don't have nuns at Catholic school really, but like this lady was like the old school nun, and she would slam a ruler on the table. But I thought she was so entertaining. Everyone hated her, but I was just like, this lady, like, you know.
But she didn't hit anyone.
No, but she would be like,
oh my god,
you know what I mean?
I wonder what happened to her. I mean,
I know. I feel like she was really like strangely the happiest person. Like, she was like. She got off on it, you know.
Who knows what her Google history says?
I know.
Oh my god, the Google history of a nun would be it would either be so pure or so dirty.
Yeah. That was like what wasn't that?
It would be like monster, anime monster fucking.
Yeah.
Anime monsters fucking. That's what On that note, we're going to get into your awkward story, but let's take a brief pause from a message from our amazing sponsors.
Is the sponsor Anime Monster?
It's Pornhub. Yeah.
It's never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or the friends in your pants, you can make this a season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little drummer boy a favor and use the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then add Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have the people thinking, All I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get naughty by going to manscaped.com and use code AWKWARDSTAGE for free shipping and 20% off. I never knew this, but have recently learned from my friend Joey how important it is to have a good grooming routine for, your balls. The Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. It has everything needed to help you deck the halls from face to balls just in time for the mistletoe season. Wow. The Platinum Package has each product from the best-selling Performance Package, plus Ultra Premium Body Wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner, and Ultra Premium Deodorant. It's the best way to smell fresh from your Santa hat to your candy cane. Oh, this puts me in the spirit. In the, holiday spirit. The Lawnmower 4.0 Body Trimmer and the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer are waterproof and have 4000K LED lights so you can see. All of Manscaped's shower gear is sulfate-free and vegan. So the Platinum Package 4.0 sitting under the tree is guaranteed to put anyone in the holiday spirit. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code AWKWARDSTAGE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code AWKWARDSTAGE. That's AWKWARDSTAGE. Manscaped. Get your jingle balls ready for the holidays.
Okay, let me turn my phone because I have really important calls coming in.
Okay, yeah.
So,
What are
turn
the
it off.
take the phone call right now?
I just have so many people trying to get a hold of me, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wants to know.
Is it all
It's my
is
grandma
it
and my
all
mom.
of Hollywood asking you to please be in their movie?
Because we
No,
get
on their
those phone
podcast.
calls.
Do you get a lot of podcast requests?
Actually, I have recently. I did my friend Ari's podcast, and then my friend Jade wanted me to do hers, and I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so loved! They're I'm not getting roles and anything, but I just feel like it's the same."
Yeah, it's
So
the same.
I DM'd someone. I was like, "I'd love to be on your show." They're like, "I'll have you on my podcast."
I always
No,
thought
I'm kidding.
the podcast requests would just roll in at some point, but are you getting a lot of podcast
No, but that was my
requests?
goal. Actually, was to
Yeah.
be a famous podcast.
A famous podcast guest.
Guest, yeah.
Yes.
I'm available for any.
Should we redo the intro?
that water bottle? Yes. Walter is.
I don't. My goal is no longer to be on TV shows.
Well, I think it's just.
Okay.
Oh, Walter.
Put that there.
Walter is our podcast dog, and we will post a picture of him on our Instagram.
Yes.
My goal is no longer to be on TV shows or write things. It's just to be a professional podcast guest. I'm also available for weddings.
Just talk about
Provide
yourself.
subtle conversation.
You're just commenting on. Okay, she's walking.
Wait, when I first started blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah, you blew up.
I got so many podcast requests. And they would email my manager and ask me to be on their podcast. And I did 7 in a row, and then I've never gotten another request.
Oh, yeah, that's so funny. You're was it something I said? Did I
Yeah.
pick my nose?
Yeah, I don't know.
You would think that people would want to hear our opinion on pretty much everything.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys know who Nigel Barker is? The photographer. He was on America's Next Top Model.
Oh, yeah.
He was the photographer on that.
Yeah.
I went on his podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you talk about how to pose for pictures? Because you're really good at that.
I don't remember what I talked about at all, but it wasn't about photography. You make a cocktail and they interview you, and then they ask you about your cocktail you made, and then I was really embarrassed because I didn't put the Cointreau in my margarita.
So
and
it
they
was
were
just
they were
tequila and
that's interesting that you didn't. And I was like, wait.
You're wait, cut.
you're I made tequila.
It was also
water.
2:00 on a Wednesday, and I was like, am I supposed to actually drink this cocktail? I'm not gonna be able to do anything the rest of the day. And then I went on Joe Gatto's YouTube show. Joe Gatto's from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then I never got asked again for anything ever again.
Wow.
But Joe Gatto was really nice.
You should
Well,
go
now
on,
you have your own podcast.
Yeah.
So
you should go on Getting Dug with Hi. That was my favorite podcast because I got really stoned and they didn't expect me to do anything after that. I guess that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
The goal of that podcast isn't really to talk. It's just to get really stoned.
And then talk about weird stuff.
Yeah. Like I was like, how are we supposed to get, like, are we like aiming for something? Because I feel like we should all go home at a certain point.
Yeah. Can we order pizza and just chill? I don't I don't smoke weed or like do weed.
Yeah.
But I
don't
do. What's the right terminology?
I also don't smoke
But
weed
I
because
should,
I
like,
hate
get
being,
into it.
I hate being high.
Ditto.
I hate the feeling of being high.
Yeah.
So I'd be terrible on that podcast.
Yeah.
Walter's eating our phone equipment.
Walter,
You're starting to become a nuisance.
hold for Walter. I love him like my own.
So you don't do weed.
No, but I always think I should, but I never there was never the door for me to like get into it, you know? And like now I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to smoke. Like I don't want to, because I used to be a smoker and it was really bad on my vocal cords. So I don't want to like smoke anything. And I once accidentally took an edible without knowing it was one, and it fucked me up.
Oh yeah.
And so now I'm like, has the opportunity passed?
Yeah.
But also I have so much anxiety that I think I should.
No, people get into weed in their 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's never too late to become a total stoner.
But I can't officially say it because if I have a German, I'm from Germany originally. So I have a German citizenship and I have a green card.
Yeah.
But if I want to apply for American citizenship,
You can't.
I can't have done anything that is illegal on a federal level. So even though weed is legal in California,
You can't buy it.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll buy it for you.
Oh my God. She's like,
But I
going on the
won't
record.
smoke it. Do you hear me, government?
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll buy it, but she won't smoke it.
Or eat it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like I love Alana Glazer, you know, with like
Yeah.
and so she always looks so cool smoking weed, and I always am like, I could try that, you know. And then you see all these comedians, like especially in stand up, who are like smoking in the green room before shows, and I'm just like, they seem so cool. Like
See, I
they
could never do that. I feel like my brain, like when I'm doing comedy, my brain has to be like
full fire.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah, I just become so stupid. Like I smoked one time before a stand-up show, and I literally swear to God, I forgot my joke.
Oh no.
I was like, I got up early. I got upstairs. I was like, all right, thank you. Bye.
How did you, I know we're not on this topic anymore, but how did you get into stand-up?
It was really random. I was like I don't know. Like I was like with the Viners doing Instagram videos and stuff. And like, I was like, I DM'd David Spade on Instagram, and I was like, do you want to do a video with me? And so he did. So I went to like this girl, Alyssa Violet's house, and we filmed together. And then he was like, oh, I'm going to the Comedy Store. And I had been like kind of hanging out at the Comedy Store just like out of curiosity because it seemed so cool.
Yeah.
And so he brought me like backstage to the Comedy Store, and I like met all these people. And then like I started like hanging out there like regularly. And it was so embarrassing. This one person one time told me like, oh, you're like a Comedy Store groupie. And I was like, but I was getting like millions of views on my Instagram videos. Like I was like before like the shadow ban and stuff. I was like doing comedy and writing comedy. Like I wrote the show. Like I was like, I'm not a groupie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I'm a
felt
comedian.
so offended by that.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I will just do it. You know what I mean? Just to like prove it wrong. So I started like going on stage like every other night at like 11 o'clock in the Belly Room with Don Barris.
Yeah.
And for like a half an hour, he would just like give me the mic, like
hour,
and let him do his like shows. He closes out the Comedy Store every night, and it's like he's amazing. Like honestly, he's the reason why I got into comedy, because he would just like be like, oh, you're funny here, and like you usually have to like get booked to even get a spot, you know. And he would just like give me the mic and let me like riff, and then people. And this was before I stopped drinking. So people were like, I was like having wine, and I was like, and people were like, oh, you're funny. People were laughing. I don't remember any of the jokes I said, but apparently they were funny. I was like a little buzzed. But, and then I started just doing stand up. But when I started doing it sober for like the last 2 years, it was like, I actually had to like write jokes for the first time.
Yeah.
Like craft a joke.
Yeah, a joke, because I was like, what is this concept of writing a joke? You know what I mean? Because before I just get plastered and
You would
go,
just be like drunk. And who knows if anyone was even laughing because you were just drunk. So.
yeah.
Sure they were.
No, I mean, like they kept bringing me back, but honestly, who knows?
No, I'm sure they were.
So funny.
I know that's crazy because people like, there's like people who are like work there, like are like that's their goal, like doing stand up, doing open mics, and they're like, I just want to get on the Comedy Store, and you're like, I don't know, it's just like hanging out there.
For the microphone for 30 minutes. So
that's how you have to do it. You have to be like in the right spot.
And people like comics like hated me for that because like they would like put in time on their craft, and I was just like farting around. You know what I mean? Like boop, 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 like wearing like way too much you know, boop, 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 oh here you go, thank you. You know what I mean? It was just like so stupid. And also I think at the time, like this was like 5 years ago, and I think at the time like even like gender, like you couldn't wear like a provocative outfit on stage,
right?
Like it was just like
the sexism in the comedy industry is insane. Yeah, like you would think.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of women on women crime in the comedy.
Crime.
Like people are really competitive, but it's changing. But at least like in the comedy schools, I would find that like women were actually like the most competitive with other women. Like the most judgmental.
There's always this angst that if she gets the move up, then I don't, and that is justified, you know, partially by all these institutions because women have to work harder.
It's easier for a man to get a laugh,
to go out, right, and to get the grace to like try out a joke once or twice, whereas as women they just have to perform on a higher level.
Dudes will like say dudes will have like a entire set where it's like sexual, and everyone will just be like, oh, that was hilarious. And if a woman has like a sexual set, they'll be like, oh, she's just relying on her sexuality.
It's like slutty,
or she's cheap jokes, or like or you're wearing something low cut. It's like, oh, everyone's just there to see her boobs.
Like how is that still a thing? How is that still a narrative?
Whereas the guy can like whip his dick out as part of his set, and no one will be like, they'd be like, oh my god, he's so like raunchy, or like he's so, oh my god, he like takes such huge risks because he like pulls his dick out. But if you're wearing like a low cut shirt, it's like she's not funny. She's just boobs.
It's because as old school like sexism is like deep within these institutions and like the people who run it, and because they're just old. So make room for make room for
get
young
rid of
people.
the old people.
And that goes for politics too. All right,
it's interesting,
and
like,
jobs.
It's everything.
I was like wearing this, so like usually I do stand up with like a full like okay, so like a full like the last year and a half I've been doing like a full like cardigan, you know what I mean, like in like a sweater and stuff, and like in my normal voice. And
wait, what do you mean by my normal voice?
So I do like characters on stage.
Oh, I see.
So like and one time I was wearing like a shirt that like literally just showed like this much of my stomach, but that was it. No boobs. Like I was fully covered. Like no ripped jeans. It was just like very like PC. And this comic, I won't name names, was like you should wear a different shirt. That's too distracting. Nope. Like he said that to me before I went on stage, and then I went on stage and like killed. But like
distracting.
Literally, and it wasn't even like a belly shirt. It literally just like went up like a little bit like that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
We are, as women, are not responsible for straight cis dudes not being able to control their fucking sexual urges.
What are they afraid you're distracting from? You're on stage by yourself.
Exactly.
What are you distracting from? Like, they can't hear you speak.
And this is like a year ago, mind you, too. This is like recent.
They're staring at a sliver of skin on your belly so they can't hear your jokes.
Yeah. But so then I found, which is an interesting like sociological experiment, I started doing this like Donna, New Jersey character, which is like, honestly, I feel like it's like, okay, so like because of mainstream media has like programmed our minds to like think certain things are okay and certain things aren't okay. Like, you know, the Fran Dresser character with like the obnoxious voice, they're like, okay, she's funny because she's like a caricature. Do you know what I mean? Like she can be hot and funny because she's like society has shown us that that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I like copied her on stage and did this like, oh my God, how you doing? Okay, what's, you know, like this like nanny voice.
Yeah.
And like wore slutty outfits, and people were okay with that. It was like interesting because like I feel like because they had an example of that in mainstream media.
But if you're like using your normal voice.
Yeah, but if I'm using my normal voice
and like you dress like
that, then it's like you. Yeah, but because it was a caricature, it was okay. Do you know what I mean? So I had like a fake pony. And it's like, how you doing? Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like, I can't, I'm schwitzing. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a whole thing. And people like, okay with it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see like different, like, like I wear different color wigs. Like, I've like really experimented and seen different people's perspective.
That is interesting.
It is the whole double standard on like the gatekeepers of women's sexuality and when and how it is okay for us to express it.
Yeah.
And it's just really fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, I will only ever show like cleavage or like revealing outfits if I'm making a video on TikTok that it feeds the character. Because I never like really play myself on the internet. But anytime, and like for the first entire year I had a TikTok, I didn't show cleavage once because I was like, these aren't the comments I want. Like these aren't the things I want. But then I started being like, fuck it. What am I going to do? Pretend I don't have boobs?
Right.
Like this is so stupid. Who am I hiding from? Like I'd rather just embrace my body. And if I get the comments, I get the comments. But that's also an evolution of like being okay with comments.
Yeah.
But I'll only ever show it if it like feeds the character. But anytime I post something where I have cleavage, like I posted a video that was like how female CEOs are portrayed on TV, and I had like crazy cleavage. I'll get all these DMs being like, everyone's just following you for your boobs. I'm like, well, I didn't show my boobs for a whole year, and I got and I was up to like 800,000 followers with no boobs. So what are you talking?
Yeah, fuck off.
So fuck off. But it's like their immediate response is like, how does this girl have so many followers? Oh, she has boobs.
It must be her boobs.
Oh,
yeah.
she has boobs.
And it's like she's doing comedy. She's not doing beauty. So how dare she show her tits? Like,
it's actually like, it's interesting that you say that because I've been looking at like comments like of like on videos and stuff, and usually it's like women who leave nasty comments that say like Jesus first be kind in their profile. Do you know what I mean?
God, yeah.
Like 1 Corinthians
brainwashed.
Like and they're the ones
it's the
yeah.
misogyny
Well, I guess
is like it brainwashed.
But you recently
them.
did like Playboy and stuff too.
Yeah,
and I feel like those are like those easy targets.
Yeah.
That women will be like, oh, Playboy bad, Jesus good. Whereas like no, it's like pretty much all modeling could be in Playboy now. Like there's no difference.
Yeah, and also even if it is like sexual or sexy modeling, like get a grip.
Yeah, that's why I was like
Barbara
so hard into like the writing stuff and like I've been writing for like the LA Times, and like I like all these magazines and stuff, like the
That's
cut, like
amazing.
Best, like I've been working really hard to like get published. Like I don't post all the articles right, but I've just like been writing incessantly and like purposely like using big words. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I realize like if you lean really hard in one direction, so like societally, you have to lean really hard in the other direction because otherwise you're gonna get categorized as like a bimbo. You know what I mean? So I've like noticed I just I'm like I got like sold this other book. Like I'm like working really hard to like merge the
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like for every like slutty picture I have to post a really intelligent article.
Just,
you know what I mean?
It's just so unfair that we have to dodge that women have to dodge all these stereotypes, whether it's like in this sense or like a woman who presents as not traditionally according to the patriarchy sexy, she then also has to prove her worth because she doesn't. Like we have to dodge all of these stereotypes that are thrown at us. We never asked for them.
But I kind of love,
and it's
Noel,
fucked up.
how you embrace it so much. Like she'll post a photo of her in a bikini and then like slap her article over the top of it. like gotcha, now read my writing. Like it's really funny.
And you are a really good writer.
I
read some of your articles and you write beautifully.
I wanted to do a video. Like, this is an idea that I have. I haven't done it yet. But I was talking to this guy at Instagram and he was like, oh, you're not getting as many views because something about the algorithm. Like if you post an article and it doesn't get all likes, for the next video that you post, it hides it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Because
so like if the algorithm is like, oh, this didn't do well, so we don't feel confident pushing this content out.
So he's like, you're not getting a lot of views because you keep posting articles. If you just stick to the comedy stuff, the algorithm would like reset and keep showing your videos. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was thinking about doing a really hilarious thing where I post an article that I write and just like have a bikini and like dance over it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, here you go, read that.
Yeah, I think you should do that because also Instagram is turning into a video app. So they do push out. That's why you know all those meme accounts, they post a meme, but it's actually like a 5-second video, still video.
So and then like on stand up too, I was gonna do like a stand-up video with like me twerking on the side of the stand-up.
Yeah.
Seriously. No, yeah, I have noticed like if you post a photo on Instagram anymore, like no one cares.
No one cares. Yeah. I like lose followers when I post a picture.
Yeah, they're like, why isn't she moving?
Like, ew. Yeah.
Where's that movement we signed on for?
Where is that 90s makeup? Yeah.
But what were we talking about? Oh, wait, last thing about like I did notice I love wearing different wigs doing stand-up, and I did do this show one time with a red wig, and I swear to God, the comics and like this guy in the audience, 2 times they said that I was fiery, like it was so funny, it was like this like instant like
she's a redhead,
and people laughed at different times for the jokes. They did the same exact set. It was like an interesting sociological.
That's why there's a whole thing about like casting. Like you have to like know your type, know what people like want to see from you based on like how you look. Like
That's a really interesting social experiment. That should be a documentary at some point. Like collect the data,
make that documentary.
All right.
We are gonna get to your awkward stage after this brief message from our sponsor.
If you haven't finished your holiday shopping yet, don't panic. We've got a secret source for incredible, original gifts, and that's Uncommon Goods. UncommonGoods.com has the absolute best gifts for everyone in your life. We're talking moms, dads, teens, besties, that one weird cousin. And it's not stuff you can find just anywhere. Uncommon Goods has unique and creative gifts, often handmade by independent artists and makers. So skip the gifts that scream last minute and find something truly original at uncommongoods.com. Here are some of my favorite things from their site. They have these beautiful birthstone wine glasses. So each one is made from hand-blown glass, and they represent each month's birthstone. So you can give a very personalized gift, and it's beautiful. So I'm going to be giving this to all of my girlfriends. You're welcome. They also have these handmade Yama slippers that are just the most beautiful, comfy, unique slippers. The thing I really love about Uncommon Goods is that they look for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. They have the most meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gifts anywhere. From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Not the same lackluster gifts you could find just anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. Now that's #goals. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/awkwardstage. That's uncommongoods.com/awkwardstage for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
Okay, Noel. When do you think was your awkward stage of your life?
The Harry Potter uniform.
Oh, yeah. So I was sitting in class and, this is like, we were outside of class. This is like a different area. It was like a recess type situation. And I was like reading by myself, like a nerd, like this, like, I read constantly, like, just like, it's like an escape for me. I love it. So like, I was just reading alone, like little Noel, who would grow up, she would just read alone constantly too. But, and like this guy Jimmy, like who everyone had a crush on, like came and sat next to me and started talking to me, and I was just like, I didn't realize that he like was like flirting with me. My friend told me later, but like I was just like, why is he talking to me? This is so weird. Like, what do I say? You know what I mean?
He was like trying to flirt with you, and you're like, why? What?
Yeah.
What are these questions?
I only talk to adults.
Yeah.
So
I was like, okay. And then I remember like vividly we were talking, and I literally like closed my book. And like he was still sitting there, and I didn't know what to do or say, and I just like got up and went to the bathroom, and then like Pete like sat on the toilet like what's happening, and then I came back and like sat down, and he was gone. But like my friend later, Ivana, she was like, yeah, he was like going up to talk to you because he liked you, and I was like, oh really? And then he never tried talking to me again.
Did you have a crush on him too?
No, but it was like the first time a guy had like tried to like talk to me, so I was like, oh my god, this is awkward. And then the second time at Cotillions, we had like this dance with the 2 schools, like the Catholic schools, and like I'd never like kissed a boy before or like whatever, and I was with Ivana again, this girl who was like kind of popular, and like she and like my friends Stephanie and Marissa and like Alina and Katie and like we were all sitting here and like talking and like I was like they had kissed people before and I was like I've never kissed anyone and I know and I was like okay I'm gonna kiss someone and they were like what and it was just like I was weird
like you just wanted to get it over with like a very like practical
and like they all had like dates and stuff and I didn't have a date like they'd been talking
so you were like I'm gonna kiss someone else's date
I was just like I'm gonna go up and kiss someone like,
easy fix
it was just like the weirdest thing so I like walked up to this like weird kid with like braces and like acne and like just very
classic
like blonde but I liked his frosted tips
oh yes
so I was like hi you know what I mean and then I was like do you want to dance and then we danced and it was super awkward and like he smelled a little bit like BO
wait like slow dance or fast dance
like slow dance like this
you know smelled like beer
like BO
oh
and I was
like whoa
and then I like leaned in and kissed him and then walked away and then did not talk to him again.
That is very brave.
Wait, I wonder if that was his first kiss because imagine like oh, tell us the story of your first kiss. This girl, like, she came up to me. We slowed down. She kissed me, and I never saw her again.
Maybe. Oh my god.
And then, did you ever see him again?
What if he has like attachment issues now?
Yes.
It's
like I'm
and
just.
then she abandoned me. Yeah.
These women have been walking away from me ever since that happened.
My whole life. That was kind of how I lost my virginity too. It was on a dare. I'm not kidding.
On a dare?
Yeah.
Wait, we need that story.
I was like 17 and I literally was like, this girl was like, you haven't
done it yet.
And I was like,
my friend shamed me for that too.
Yeah.
Like my best friend was like, well, I was like, well, I'm still a virgin. I don't know. She was like somewhere for a long
Probably
time.
Off somewhere being a slut.
She was off being a slut.
Yeah.
Came back. We were talking about it and I just like was curious about it. And she's like, you like she said it like in Clueless, you know, like you're still a virgin.
Yeah.
Like at 16 or whatever. It was like, yeah. And I also don't feel like I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound very appealing.
So is
to
that
me.
what happened to you?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it tonight then. You know what I mean? And she was like, no, you're not.
Did you have a boyfriend or?
No, I was actually like, so my friend from high school, she'd moved to Santa Barbara and I was like visiting my aunt in Santa Barbara for like a week and a half. It was like the summer before like college. And I was like, literally just like, I'm going to do it tonight. You know, it was like super like random. And like, I got
practical approach.
Yeah. I got really, really buzzed on like vodka and like just like and there was just like a haze of like all these people and like fratty like
was it a party that you went
yeah
to?
there were like all these parties like in this like little college town and I was like okay I'm gonna do it and I walked up to this guy at one
what
of the
if
parties.
It was the same guy and you didn't know
and he's like
you again
and then she took my virginity and she left again.
Wait, that's what happened. So then I like literally like actually so it comes full circle. But so I like made out with him and then I was like, do you want to have sex? Like I was like really interested. And then we hooked up and then I never talked to him again.
Oh
and then I ran into that guy. Because I remember, I won't say his name, but I remember his like first and last name. Because it was like a Russian last name. It was like very like distinctive. And I ran into him in LA. The guy I lost my virginity to. Like literally like 5 years
Did he recognize
later.
you?
Yes. And like we were at this party and I was like you're blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my God, wait, were you in Santa Barbara in this exact like month? And he was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh my God, I lost my virginity to you. And he didn't know that I lost my virginity.
Oh my God.
What did he say?
He was like he was obviously into it. You know what I mean?
of
But also
course.
like a little bit weirded out, but super into it.
Problematic.
Well, that's like kind of a nice, like, oh my God, that stranger I lost my virginity to. Like, it's such a connection.
Yeah. So then I thought it would be romantic for us to like date. I was like, this is a fairy tale. You know what I mean? I was like, we're meant to meet each other. Like,
yeah.
Clearly I'm going to fall in love with this person and get married and like it will be so beautiful. It
Did that
not.
happen?
No. Like we dated for like 3 months, and I remember we were on a trip to San Francisco.
Oh, you guys dated.
I tried dating. Like when I said, "Oh my God, it's you," I lost my virginity to you. I was like, "I'm gonna date you." You know what I mean? I like made up my mind that this is the fairy tale that I'd constructed.
Was he everything you wanted in a
No.
man?
It was very weird, and like it was very forced on my end. Like I wanted it to be like, you know, like the signs were there that we just like weren't compatible.
Yeah.
But I was like, this will be romantic, you know? Yeah. And so we went on this like beautiful trip up the coast, and like we're like arguing the whole time. He was a Bahamut like Trump supporter.
Oh,
and, like,
I was just gonna ask what you were arguing about, but never mind.
Yeah, and super like pro Putin. I don't know. Do you guys
Pro Putin?
Yeah, you don't talk politics. Do you talk? I don't.
You can say anything
so
on this podcast.
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, he was super like, and he was also. I have a lot of friends who are Russian who like aren't pro Putin, but he's like very Russian, very pro Putin, very like pro Trump, and like in my head I still was like, this will be a fairy tale. I can change him.
Yeah, he will change.
He will change for me.
I will make him write an essay, and then he will understand.
Well, I have bad news for you. Because yours didn't work out, but I did take my husband's virginity.
No way.
When he was 18 and I was 19.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
that's so cute.
Freshman year of college. He did not take mine. But yeah, I took his virginity, but he didn't tell me until like 2 years later.
Oh, wow.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Aww.
First and last.
So what you're saying
But
is...
he was like my 30th and last.
What I'm hearing is I need to take someone's
Virginity.
virginity and then forget about them.
Yes,
for a couple
go to
of
a
years.
college. Go to a college, find the freshman dorm,
Ooh.
take someone's virginity, and then marry them.
I know what I'm going to do this Friday.
You're like, or tonight.
Okay, if you had some advice for yourself at that like awkward stage in your life, at any of the ones we talked about,
Any of them.
I guess don't give yourself advice now because it means nothing. So if you had advice for like your younger self, what would it be?
To have more fun. I feel like I was very uptight as a kid. I had this like weird theory that I had to like accomplish everything by like a certain time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I thought I was old when I was like 20, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, or even when I was like 13, like with figure skating, it was very like you had to like I was trying to go to the Olympics, so like you had to like So I think just like have fun and like relax because I think like even nowadays with like social media and stuff, a lot of kids put like a lot of pressure on themselves based off of like I can't even imagine what it'd be like growing up with like that kind of
social media and like cyberbullying.
And yeah, that makes a lot of sense with sports where like you see everyone in your category like going pro at like 18 or like even like 17, like you see all these people getting successful and then you're like 20 years old and you're like, holy shit, I'm 3 years older than this person that's like so successful at what I'm trying to do.
That's so toxic. Like
but then you're also not looking at the people who are 30 who are also really successful at what you're trying to do, who like you know, or 40 or 60.
Anything you do, it's always this thing that society puts these ideas in our head, and like really what we're supposed to do, I think, is just like be here, chill the fuck out, enjoy what's right in front of us, but we're always trying to alter our reality to this idea of something else.
Totally. So I think just like enjoy life and have fun. Like, I mean, I got like straight A's, but I ended up like not going to college. I got into all these like Ivy League, so I ended up not going to college to compete in figure skating, and then I ended up quitting figure skating. So it's like you never know like what is gonna happen. You know what I mean? So just like enjoy life.
That's something we should all take to heart.
Yeah.
Wise words.
Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram or your mom's house.
Hell yeah.
What's your handle?
Noel, NOELLEON INSTA, Noel on Insta.
Woo! Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Fun.
Guys, DM us at Awkward Stage Pod your awkward stories, and we might read them on the podcast.
And don't forget to tell all of your friends and family about this podcast and tell them to listen and subscribe, rate, review, all the things. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. We love you.